Right. So today is the first session. I'm going to discuss about four different points.
Yep.
First, we are discussing about business analyst, but before getting into the knowledge areas, before getting into the other stuff,
Mhm.
new learner, we need to know about four things. One is what business analysis is all about. Point number one. Second, why business analyst required. Next, what are the different types of BAs do we have, followed by the kind of skill set that we want to acquire.
Okay.
These are the four things we need to know first.
Yep.
Now, to start with, when you're trying to understand about business analysis, this is something which is continuous or common in any business activity. This is nothing to do with any technology. This is nothing to do with any domain, irrespective of the technology of the domain. Analyzing the business is something inevitable. Okay. So, for what purpose business analysis we do? Let's say, for example, uh, I'll take a retail outlet. For example, retail sector. I get it, right? So retailing outlet. What retail outlets are for? Retail outlets are for selling products. What are the FMCG products? Customer come across. They will sell the products to the customers. This is what generally it meant for. Now, any retail organization, there are possibilities where they want to expand their services to the next level. Assume that XYZ is a retail outlet. They have to retail these things now, and future they want to expand their outlets into next one, right? So business expansion is one of the key and important element in any business you can see. Okay, so either it can be for business expansion, or if you want to increase our efficiency in terms of the process that we are following. Depends on the industry, depends on the market needs, depends on the industry procedures, standards, etc. We have to make necessary changes in the systems that we are using. So there must be business analysis, which is inevitable in any industry, right? So business analysis is a common word. As an example of a retail
So one question over here.
go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So question is that just like you said, in business analyst, we don't need any sort of domain knowledge or anything. You just need to be
Fund,
analysis of what current business is, right?
fund, fund,
So let
fundamental need of a business analysis nothing to do with domain. Okay, it
yeah,
is not
nothing to
for
do with it.
businesses. Domain may comes after. For example, you are working on the healthcare side. For example, okay,
Mhm.
let's say that you are working for a hospital, you are
Mhm.
working for a bank, you are working for an insurance company. So what
Mhm.
is that you want? You want some kind of knowledge to that particular domain. For example, you are working for a hospital, you must be knowing about how the hospital functions. Okay, how the
Okay.
patients comes, right? So how the appointments will be given to the patients, right? So how the medical procedures we follow, right? So how the treatment will be taken place, how the billing will generate. That complete understanding as a business analyst you must be having. Why? Because you are working for a hospital, you must be knowing about in and out about the functionality of a hospital.
Mhm.
In the same manner, for example, bank, right? Let's say retail bank. Retail bank means you must be knowing about how the retail operations are happening. Okay. You
Right.
must be knowing about the in and outs about, for example, how the deposits happen, how the withdrawal process happens. If someone has given check request, how this is can be done, or if there is any loan processing or some application has received. So how do we process this complete functionality? You must be aware of. So, as a business analyst, whatever the common skill sets that we acquire remains same. But depends on the kind of industry that we are dealing with. Whatever the domain expertise that we may require may vary from profile to profile. Do you understand
Okay.
this, Pradeep?
So, yeah. So let's assume currently I am working in the retail banking as a business analyst. Now I want to move to the hospitality industry as a business analyst. So
Hospitality.
for that, yeah,
Hmm.
hotel industry, you can say the
Yeah,
hospitality or
hospitality.
hospitality.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Okay. So I currently, as a business analyst, I know the basics and I know the retail banking because currently I'm working with that and very well versed with that particular industry.
True.
Now I'm thinking to move out the without with retail banking domain to the hospitality domain,
True.
and I have very little knowledge. So there is nothing if I have a very limited knowledge or very you can say very granular or high level of exposure on that part. So the route will be remain the same, right?
Yes, yes. So domain may vary. Okay. You are a business analyst by yourself.
Mm.
Domain may change it. For example, you are moving into the hospitality sector. You must
Mm.
be knowing about the hospitality process. Either it can be star hotels, it can be of any other area. So you must be
Mm.
knowing. So
Mm.
why? Because we are developing solution for the particular domain. There are a lot of pros. For example, I'll take a retail domain as an example. In the beginning, I have given an example.
Mm.
What retail domain is for? Retail domain is majorly retailing is nothing but retail shop, something like Walmart, Target, right? So some retail shop is there. Either it assume that it's a big one.
Mm.
They manage different applications they use. For example, they use some point of sale system for billing, point of sale system for billing. Maybe for inventory management system, they are using other application. Maybe for payroll management and workforce management, they are using some Workday. Some ERP, they are using SAP. Maybe for CRM, they are using some Microsoft Dynamics. So there are
Mm.
a lot of applications in an organization that organization is using within itself. Why? Because to manage their internal processes, they are using all the applications. Understand, right? So
Yes.
fundamentally, if you want to understand, it doesn't mean that you don't require to learn the applications. That is different story. Okay, that's a different story.
Mm.
But fundamentally, what is required if you are interacting with stakeholders means internal people, or you need to speak to some person who do the billing, right? So, or inventory person, or inventory or payroll management professional. If you want to interact with them, first of all, what is that you know? First, fundamentally, you must be knowing about how retail store works. Understand?
Mm.
How retail store works, how generally billing happen, right? So how to identify how many products that were available with us and all. So there are some inventory control techniques that we are using, something like so that we'll address the products. So how the supply chain process happens. So how the returns, for example, if there is any damaged goods and all that, how the returns management happens. If there is any, for example, any loyalty points we are giving for the customers who are paying, who are using our, who are coming to our shop in regular intervals for the purpose of encouragement. So the process, the detailed process of a particular retail domain, you must be aware of. So when you are
Mm.
aware of what will happen, the advantage for you is that because of the understanding over that particular one, so that if they are facing any kind of problem, you can understand the amount of intensity they are facing. Intensity you need to know. Problem may happen, okay, but first of all, as a BA, you need to know the intensity also, not only the problem identification, but you need to understand the intensity. Why intensity is required? Because based upon the intensity, you will be you will measure to what extent you want to provide solution, how fast you want to provide solution. For that, what kind of models are something that are suitable for that. Everything can be decided by us accordingly.
Mm.
Do you understand this, Pradeep? Clear?
Yes. Yes.
So, business analysis, coming to the point, is something which is common for everyone. This is nothing to do with any anything, right? So, business analysis is a quite common word. To do that, you require some individuals. For example, there is a retail outlet called XYZ. Listen carefully. XYZ is a retail outlet.
Yep.
They are using some point of sale system for billing. You know, right? So billing happens through POS machines, billing machine, right? So they are using some POS machine. Now, customer is facing some problem, like some, for example, every time the systems are showing some errors. Because of the system that is showing errors, what is happening always, they have to halt their billing system and they have to shift the queue to the next counter. So because of that, what is happening, the amount of time for billing is becoming more. Assume that it is happening recurrently, right? So this is what हम बोलते हैं business problem बोलते हैं. Understood? Business.
ठीक.
This is the problem. For example, I'm making it very simple, right? So this is the problem. What is the problem here? Billing time is becoming more. Why is becoming is more? Because the kind of systems you are using are very old. Point number one. It could be one reason. Based on the research, we come to know all this. Okay, because a customer will tell you the problem. My billing time is becoming more, so I want to reduce the billing time. So that customer do the billing and he go. He don't need to wait for a long time. So there
Okay.
could be two reasons why the kind of systems they are using are old systems. Point number one. Second, because of the old system, recurrent technical problem are right. So recurrent technical problem due to that, what is happening? Always system is getting some errors and all. Some technician has to come and troubleshoot that.
Okay.
So, for example, someone should troubleshoot means troubleshoot, and you need to develop some technical solution for that. Listen carefully. Okay, technical solution. End of the day, technical solution you must be landed. But for example, you are the shop owner. You have a retail store. You have this problem. You want someone to repair this. To make it very simple language, do you want someone to repair this? What you want? You want some technician or a technical guy to do that. Yes. So you have approached an IT company and you ask them that this is the problem for us. Please, can you show any solution for that? Now, you are a person who belongs to the business. You know the business functionality, you know the business things, everything, right? So you are not nothing to do with any technology. These things are not aware of to you because you are from the trading business related stuff. Now, if a person, for example, IT company is sending some technical person, some development team person and all, can you expect there will be a communication, effective communication between you parties? Can you expect
Yes. Yes.
there will be an effective? Can you expect will there be any effective communication?
Yes, because shop owner don't know any technicality and
No, that's what my question again. I'm repeating. For example, you want to explain a problem to some IT guy. Okay.
yes.
Now my question is, if an IT person comes to you, if you can explain, is there any assurance that they'll understand well?
No, he
Why?
have because he have to be give the explanation in that way that they can understand, just like not a layman.
Right. So your terminology, your area of approach, your jargons are different. Whatever
Yes.
they understood, the kind of terminologies, jargons were different. Do you agree?
Hmm.
Yes or no? Right?
Yes.
So technical people thinks in a technical people understand the language which they understood.
Yes.
There is no guarantee that whatever you explain will be effective to them. They may or may
Yes.
not understand because you talk about billing, you talk about supply chain, you talk about inventory, you talk about staff, you talk about people are standing in
Yes.
queue, right? Something, some business words you are using.
Yes.
There is no guarantee that technical people understands the kind of problem that you are facing. So
Hmm.
what we require some intermediary. This is where generally the role of a business analyst come into picture. You can see it on the screen. So if you are a business
Yes.
analyst, your major job is to understand the business problem, understanding the business situation of the customer. How do you do that? You will be interacting with the stakeholders. You can see it on the number. Okay, numbers are given. You are a business analyst. What is that something you do? Business analyst will act as a liaison between business and technical community. Business community means customer. Technical community
Okay.
means IT team, okay, development team or some other teams, okay, there. So there must be someone, an individual or a group of people who should bridge the gap between these two. That's where generally
Yes.
stakeholders come. That's where generally business analysts come into picture. So if you are a BA, what is that you do?
Got it.
You first of all you try to understand, you try to discuss with the stakeholders. For example, stakeholders nothing but the retail shop owner or someone, right? So
Yes.
some retail shop owners guys or someone is there, right? So some billing people, some inventory people, xyz, you have interacted with them. You try to understand the kind of business situation they are facing. First business situation, after that you'll be knowing about the kind of business problem they have. Based on the business problem, what business need they have, objective goal they want to achieve. Finally,
Mm.
finally you come up with some solution. The kind of solution that you have given as a BA is called as a business solution. Understood? You're clear?
No.
Business solution.
Got it.
There are two kind of solutions. One is business solution, second is a technical solution. Now here you can ask Raj, how is it different, right? So how business solution and technical solution can be differentiated. I will give an example. The same example I'll repeat again. Okay. What the problem you have identified? Because of the old systems, old configuration systems, it is interrupting every time. So hence billing time is becoming more. So based
Yes.
on the research as a BA, you came to know infrastructural challenges are the biggest problem. That is what something finally you have identified. So for that you do lot many things. You will be doing some brainstorming sessions. You will be interacting with many people. Blah 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 blah. Right. So you do everything. So finally you came to a conclusion. Developing another on-premise will not be of choice. Will not be the solution. So what kind of solution is required? So if you are developing some cloud-based application is the right choice. This is what something as a BA you have identified. Cloud-based means you don't require any infrastructure. So there is some cloud service providers. We develop the application in the cloud environment. Customer can use the login credentials and they can use it. Whatever the services they want, they can use and they can pay for that. So the advantage here is infrastructural cost zero, maintenance cost zero. Whatever the services they were using, they are paying only for that. So these are the advantages you thought of, and this is even beneficial to the customer even. And you have given this proposal to the technical team, right? Listen carefully. So business solution here, what? Developing a cloud-based point of sale system is a solution. Being a BA, you have identified there can be many other. There can be one or
Okay.
usually, for example, one solution you have identified. Now, what technical team do? Technical team has to see the technical feasibility. Right? Technical team means, for example, cloud-based point of sale system. Okay, कितना time लगेगा, right? So how much time will it be taken? What technical complexity will it involve to develop the application? Pre and post implementation difficulties and challenges. How much time do we have? How much budget do we have? Even project management team, everybody will be involved here. You will decide. For example, if you want to develop a cloud-based POS system, how much time will it be taking? What is our budget? Is there any technical and operational challenges we come across? Is there any kind of regulatory standards that we need to consider or not? So everything will be decided. Finally, this technical team will come up with some idea. To give that idea into a diagrammatical representation, architects will give you the architecture for the project. Understand?
Yeah.
Right? Pradeep, clear or not?
Yes.
So
Yes, I'm clear.
architects are the people who develop architectures. Architectures were many, Pradeep. I don't want to get into that because architectures are many. Enterprise architecture, solution architecture, applications, data, systems architecture, right? So infrastructure. There are many architectures. Right? I don't want to get into those. But generally, architecture will be prepared by an architects. So what architects do? Architects will develop some architecture for the project. Technical people, architects are the technical people. Let's say You want to construct a building. You have enough material. You have enough money with you, right? So you have enough team, right? So you have all the team members with you. What else is required for you? You need to have. You need to have.
Architect.
You need to have a building plan, right? You need to have a building plan. Building plan, external building plan you have, internal building plan you require. For example, it's a residential apartment. How the building plan should looks like externally. Next, each and how many floors we are conducting.
Yep.
You want to know, constructing, right? You want to know the floor plan. You want to know the flat. What, for example, in one floor you are constructing three flats means what is the size of the flat? That plan is required. You want some blueprint for electrical drawing. You want a blueprint for plumbing drawings, right? So water flows, etc. All that. You want some drawings for landscaping. Without having all this, even though you have just because of the sufficient capital with you, can you construct a building? Is it not possible? Am I right? Even though you have well experienced measuring staff to work with, without having this, you cannot do it. In the same
Yes.
manner, you require some architect who can develop an architecture for the project. Okay, now let's say cloud-based point of sale system will develop. How this should be developed? What should be the technical roadmap for the project? Who will be designing that? Architects will do that. So once architects done, what will happen? This architecture will be given to the technical team. Technical team will develop the application. Finally, this application will be delivered to the stakeholders. Understood, Pradeep? Clear, right?
Yes. Got it.
So,
Yes.
if you are a BA, your importance is that you will be acted as a liaison between business and technical communities, right? So here you are acted as a liaison between business and technical community. You will be the bridging the gap between these two things, technical team and stakeholders. There are two
Got
things.
it.
One is expectation is different, realities are different. Expectation which stakeholders have, reality which technical team will be having. So you need to bridge the gap between these two things. When the problem comes, you know what their expectations, we never know. Sometimes customer want you to make some changes in the existing application which is already accepted and implemented. Lot of things are involved. So there must be someone who should do that. So for the reason, we require a business analyst who can do all that. That's where generally the role of a BA comes into picture. Understood? You're clear?
Yes. Clear.
Now, what are the different types of BAs do we have? Normally, out of my experience, I made it very simple, okay, because there were many these things. Well, I don't want to give more confusion on this. Generally,
Yep.
business analyst can be categorized into three, four types. One is functional BA, second is a
Mm.
technical BA, third techno-functional BA, four application-based business analyst.
Yep.
Functional business analyst means business analyst, whatever the experience remains as it is, will be there. But the person should have functional knowledge, means domain knowledge. Bolke. This is all functional BA. Technical BA means working on technical projects, some application we are developing. Okay, you need to have some technical knowledge, knowing about some agile, knowing about some user stories, epics, and all. This is all about the technical BA. Third, techno-functional means both functional, both technical, both required. Fourth one
Mm.
about application-based business analyst means if you see in the job profiles, you can see business analyst, Microsoft Dynamics, business analyst, Salesforce, business analyst,
Yep.
Guidewire, business analyst, MuleSoft, business analyst, ServiceNow. You can see that. Okay, you can see. They want a BA. They want a BA. Again, repeating again and again. Whatever the BA skill sets remains same for everyone. Okay, skill sets, everything remains same. But what experience this person is having required? For example, this is about MuleSoft. A person should have knowledge over the MuleSoft
Mm.
application. Understand, right? Do you got my point? Clear?
I clear. Yeah.
Right. So these are the different types of BAs do we have. That is the third point. Now, next important point. Normally, anyone, whoever are new to BA, will ask me. This is a common thing they'll ask, right? Raj, what kind of skill set I want to acquire? What is the skill set I want to have? Generally, skill sets will be called as craft skills. To make it very simple, there are some skills, knowledge areas we have. That's a different thing. I'll explain that later to you. So there are some craft skills. What is meant by craft skills? C stands for communication skills. Communication is not only verbal. Verbal communication is only one medium. But apart from verbal communication,
Hmm.
you must be good at written communication skills, because there is lot of information you have received from different people, different sources of information you are gathering. So there must be some
Hmm.
structured format of data you have to prepare, because you have to make people to understand much simple technical people. How can you do that? There must be some documentation you have to prepare. That's the reason why हम बोलते BRD, SRS, right? So all these documents are there. So these documents can be prepared. So visual communication is required. So verbal communication is needed. Next, written communication skills are also required. Next,
Yes.
listening skills are even required. Listening skills means you must be a good listener, because unless until if
Yes.
if you are not a good listener, you cannot explain the things well. So because in the
Hmm.
beginning I told you, because customer will be of different types. You cannot expect customer will give you all the information to you. It is not by intention. It can be ignorance, right? So they don't know what information to be given. So as a BA, that is your responsibility to extract the information from them. Okay. So what is required? So first of all, you need to have the listening skills. Understood? Clear?
Got
Point number one. Point number two, requirement analysis. The requirement analysis means usually requirements will be classified into multiple parts. Please make a note. Please write down points.
Hmm.
Requirements are as follows.
Yep.
The first one, business
Hmm.
requirements. First, business
Business
requirements.
requirement.
Second, stakeholder or end user requirements.
Hmm.
Stakeholder or end user requirements. Third,
Hmm.
transitional requirements.
Which one?
Transitional requirements.
Additional. Yep.
Solution requirements. Regulatory requirements. Okay. Now,
Okay.
what is business requirement matlab right now? This focuses more
Hmm.
on what is business requirement. Okay. It focuses more on the business goals, vision and mission,
Yep.
followed by
Vision and mission.
objectives. Followed by objectives
Hmm.
we want to achieve.
Yep.
We want to achieve. This is point number one. Second, stakeholder or end user requirements.
Hmm.
Stakeholder or end user requirements.
Yes.
What end user wants. What end user wants.
Yep.
End user means, for example, billing person, so retail, all that. Okay. Inventory people, all that. Transitional requirements. State of
Hmm.
transition. State of transition from old
What
system.
exactly it means?
State of transition
Hmm.
from old system to new system. From old system to new system.
Mm. Got it.
Solution requirements. What are all the features, comma, functional and non-functional requirements. What are all the features? Comma, functional and non-functional requirements.
Functional and non-functional.
Functional and non-functional requirements. We want to develop. Next, regulatory requirements. What are all the standards? Comma, policies and procedures. What are all the standards? Comma, policies and procedures.
What is the second point, Raj?
Regulatory requirements. Okay. Under
Regulatory.
What are all the standards? Comma, policies and procedures that are required to consider. Or consider, or that are required to address. So these are, we call it as requirements, because requirements will be different types. Okay, business requirements are separate, stakeholder and user requirements are separate, transitional requirements are separate, solution requirements are separate, regulatory requirements are. Do you understand this? Clear?
Yes, I understand. Clear.
So this is what something we call it as a requirement. So as a BA, it's not only communication skills. We must be having some requirement analysis skills also. Third one about functional and technical, that I will discuss with you tomorrow. What is functional?
Okay.
Technical, that is discussed tomorrow. Okay, clear?
Yep.
Okay, Pradeep. Thank you. Bye. Right, Pradeep?
Yeah.